10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome, drag racing fans, to a thrilling, fast-paced recap of the final NHRA Spring Nationals from Houston Raceway Park, brought to you by Competition Plus. Despite rookie Cameron Caruso qualifying number 1 and advancing into her first career final round in only her 5th career start, hometown hero Erica Enders was able to close out the final race at her home track in epic fashion, defeating Caruso in the final round to capture win number 37 of her career and 3rd of the year. In the Nitro ranks, Matt Hagan was able to hold off young Bobby Bodie in a Wild Funny Car final to capture Tony Stewart Racing Nitro's 2nd win as a team and Matt's 41st of his career. And in Top Fuel, Brittany Force was able to go back-to-back on the season, outlasting starting line ace Justin Ashley in the final round on a hole shot to pick up win number 13 of her career. And finally, in Pro Stock Motorcycle, Steve Johnson will put on a stunning performance in eliminations, laying down track record laps times in round 1 and round 2 before taking down arch rival Matt Smith in the final round to score win number 10 of his storied career. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a special fast-paced recap of the final NHRA Spring Nationals from Houston Raceway Park, brought to you by Competition Plus.
Well, what an epic spring nationals it was there at Houston Raceway Park for the last time. Darren Williams Jr., American Hot Rod Entertainment, thank you for that intro and recap. Myself, the Monday Morning Racer, and right across the screen from me, Slammin' Sam. It is the Competition Plus Power Hour presented by Well High Performance. A lot of high performance to talk about as well, Sam.
Yeah. Man, Lee, wow. That's all I can say about watching this race is just wow. Man, Lee, can we address the elephant in the room right away?
Okay, if there is an elephant.
You just aren't at home right now. So that's all no. The real elephant in the room, Lee, and we're just gonna get this debate and this argument out of the way for the fans, for everyone right now. And I put it on Twitter earlier today. Lee, is Pro Stock for 3 weeks in a row now not putting on the best show? I mean, history was made. What more could you want? A rookie going number 1, staying qualifying number 1, putting on an absolute performance each round in eliminations, out nosing one of the greats in Pro Stock that we have in Greg Anderson, coming in and then facing Erica Enders in the final. Cameron Caruso has put on a absolute show this weekend. And Lee, I was going to give it to you with the Top Fuel, but then I was kind of biased a little bit towards Funny Car, because I'm like, man, Funny Car is putting on a show too with Bodie. But, man, Pro Stock, I mean, Lee. Scott Malpass is even saying it. For once, Scott's agreeing with me.
Pro Stock at Houston Raceway Park was certainly epic. Awesome to see Camry performing so well and number 1 qualifier and going to the final round. Yes, taking out big names. But I think most of all so far this year, it's a great year in Pro Stock if you're an Erica Enders fan above it all. And
now you're pointing the finger. Here we go.
And I've got to say, it really kind of came down, I think, the way everybody expected it to. I don't think anybody didn't expect Erica to win. And I'm not to say anything was fudged to allow that to happen or it was rigged or set up. No, she just wanted it that bad. An elite wanted it that bad. And they had I think, a sense of confidence going in. It was right after I filmed Doug Foley, round 1 of Top Fuel. I saw Richard Freeman there watching the races and ready to go. And I stopped by, looked at him, and I shook his hand and said, "Good luck, sir." He's like, "Thank you, sir." And you could just tell they had something right then and there, and they were ready for it, and you knew she wanted it. So what a storybook ending, though, Like, when are we going to get right on track 2? Like, this is the perfect right on track 2 scenario. Like, you've moved on from juniors dragsters. You have won multiple championships. You've become the greatest, female pro stock racer ever. And you go to your home track that's going away, so many memories, and you win it. And you close that book with that statement. Yeah, when's the movie coming out? I just want to know, when's the movie coming out?
I don't even think at this point, though, you need the movie. I think you need that passing of the torch. Like and this is a big thing that I want to say about it. Yes, Drag Racing Central makes a great point, and he made some great points on Twitter earlier today when I made the comment, will Lee finally apologize and say that Pro Stock is the head of the class, taking the head right now. But yes, there's a lot of rookies that go to final rounds. I mean, look at what Bodie's doing, and you can't really call him a true rookie because he's raced in previous seasons. But I mean, just this weekend alone, like if you don't take anything of passing the torch, we asked Erica what would it mean, to have that final round with Camry, and we've asked Camry the same thing. A lot of people may think that they don't like each other or that there's bad blood. What happened with the parachute. Just a little track etiquette for some people that don't know. The inside lane that's turning, whether you're turning left or you're turning right, the inside person gets to make that turn first. It's a safety thing. So the inside lane gets to make the turn first. Well, what happened? The wind was blowing. Erica's parachutes got blown over. It caught Camry's wing on her car, and they showed a little bit of a clip of it on the broadcast, but that conversation between them, I can guarantee you wasn't, anything negative. And if you really watched it at the end, Erica puts the hat on Camry, and I can guarantee with those two, I mean, Camry used to work at Elite. It was, girl, worry about, we'll fix it. We'll help you fix it. We'll get you back up and going so you're ready to go for tomorrow or the next round. We will help you and enjoy this moment of being number one. I can guarantee if you know anything about Erica or if you've ever talked to her, she's a person that's going to put that utmost respect on you. So, this negative notion about everything that's going on between them, they are friends on and off the track. But the pass another torch happened, and I just think it was a great weekend when even the Caruso team still got some negative news.
Well, I'm not so sure passing of the torch has happened. I'm sure Erica has got a little bit longer time to hold the torch and, win some championships and a few races. But
for sure.
I think what happened at the end, Racer's Deal, it was emotional. You just get your number one qualifier first of your career, but your car's wrecked. And you probably are like, oh my goodness, what does this mean? We can make Sunday, blah, 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 whatever. Nonetheless, it happened. They moved on from it. And what a testament to Camry Caruso's crew with Jim Yates, her dad, others. Look, it was not an easy Sunday for them. They had issues to overcome, and they get that car all the way to the final. And even without the burnout going the way it needs to, it was a solid race down to
it was a drag race.
Quarter mile. It was a drag race. It was a drag race.
So
what a great race for Pro Stock. Yes, but Sam, it wasn't just Pro Stock. Once again, it was across the board NHRA Camping World Series drag racing that you've got. Look, the situation with Steve Johnson sets track records and goes to the final, and he had went out there the early on the morning, was like, I need to get back to the fundamentals. I need to get in the game, and puts his helmet on, stages without his bike, and walks the track and jogs it, and he goes all the way to the final. And Smith and Johnson, then there's the blood that there is, and head to head, but Matt needs to bring out another bike. And oh, by the way, if you're upset with Matt bringing out another bike, which apparently some people are, learn the doggone rules and stop being a uneducated, dense fan, for the love of the sport, please.
Lee, You can't say, here, hold on, pause, everybody, since Lee's so upset. I don't know what you guys got to drink tonight. I'm going to drink some sugar-free Red Bull. Everybody just take a drink. Lee's getting a little upset, so. Controversy, Lee. Let's dive into the controversy of this weekend, okay? I'm going to rattle the ones off right now, okay? We have the Caruso family getting bad news about their intake manifold. We have everyone being mad at Matt Smith for changing his bike, which it's in the rules that he can do that.
Right.
We have everyone getting upset because of the Caruso Enders top in whatever. They don't like each other, blah, 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 splat, blah. But the biggest one of them all is everyone's upset because a 20-year-old kid, a man actually, 20-year-old man, just celebrated his birthday, had the chance to win his first race, hold up his first Wally. Car goes boom in front of him. Concussion. I mean, most people would not be able to get up and walk away from that. Okay? He gets out, he composes himself enough not to hit the person in the other lane, gets the car, calm down. Mine, a 20-year-old man, okay, just celebrated his birthday the day before, gets out of the car and shows emotion. And we're upset about this? We are upset.
I have found that most people are very positive actually about what happened. But yes, there are a few detractors out there. And I've just got to say, for anyone out there that wants to say, well, I wouldn't have done that. What a dumb statement. Like, one, you're probably never going to have the opportunity to go through a situation like that, because how many human beings survive a bomb, which is in essence what happens for a funny car driver in that situation. First time he's ever experienced anything like that. Did have that shot and opportunity to win. He destroys the family car, body and mechanical pieces. And look, it's a small independent operation with some help from Tim Wilkerson on tuning. It's not like they can just pull another bullet out all the time. No, like it's dad's business, the Arby's, the plastic bags out there in Chicago. And then you want to come in and like knock the kid for his emotion and knock the kid for what he did.
He's a man. He's 20 years old.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
You can't call him a kid. I'm just saying.
Good. And also, like Bobby Bodie, like he doesn't like get up and like he doesn't, he's
not an upset person.
He's a very even keel young man. And for him to show this emotion, I was watching from the stands. I'm like, wow, like look at him go. I thought it was pretty cool. And I don't get up. I don't understand these people who are like, I wouldn't have done that. Like, you have no clue what you would have done. Just shut up. Shut up and sit down.
Lee, this is what I'm going to say about it. I respect him even more because he threw his glove on the track and then he's like, "Oh wait, that's the track. Let me pick my let me pick my glove up so I can throw it again. But this time I'm gonna throw it off the track. So hey, in case there's any fines or anything of me throwing stuff on the field, I'm going to pick it up off the field, and I'm going to throw it over here." But this is my thing. We always say, oh, we want to be able to relate to these people. We want to be able to relate to these drivers. We want to understand what they go through and how they feel and why don't we see them cry? Why don't we see them get upset? Because when they do get upset, everyone wants to point the finger and say, no, wait a minute, you're a robot. All you're supposed to do is drive a car and get out and do an interview. No, BS. You guys, no one gets mad when everyone thinks it's hilarious when, and I can speak of this team because the owner, Mr. Bob Bennett, is his football team, when your beloved AB gets upset and takes the stuff off and runs off the field. Everyone thinks that's great. Oh, AB's. No. These human beings are allowed to show emotion.
Yeah.
There's some emotion that's good emotion. There's some that's bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, I thought it was, Camry, after that, that incident with the parachute and the wing and going number one qualifier. There's so many things swirling there. She was very emotional. She was crying. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with seeing that on camera. Like, we all, as human beings, deal with the stuff and put whatever word you want in place of stuff. And guess what? Life is challenging at times. Life has moments that break us. Life has moments that make us. Life has moments that is going to just rack our hearts. I would rather see it than, well, the car blew up, but we were running good. We want to thank our sponsors, and we'll see you at the next race. I've heard that too many times.
The fact, Lee, when he got asked that question, when Amanda said, I'm not going to say word for word, but something about being in front of Matt Hagan at that point, the raw emotion of him.
Yes. Loved it.
He looked and was speechless and just and literally backed away and was just like, look, I don't have anything else to say. Like, that right there, you could see every moment of it, and it took it away. As Pat here says, it's that same scenario. Just do as I say, not as I do. But Tony Stewart, like, if I think the thing about this all that some people that were upset, but when, when Tony Stewart says, hey, I like that. I want to see more of that. That's the kind of guy that I want racing for me. Everybody was like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's okay now. I think that's okay. But hey, we can talk about this till we turn blue in the face. Congratulations to Hagan. Congratulations to Brittany getting that back-to-back win. I mean, what a tough final round. I mean, Justin Ashey's really great at the tree, but she got him. And, that just shows what they've been doing over there at JFR Racing. And, I mean, we can't be mad about it.
And when you look at the numbers in that particular final round, she stepped up. I would say she really was not that great on the lights all the rounds previously, but she stepped up and she knew she had to step up in that moment, and she got it done and becomes the first repeat winner of the 2022 season in Top Fuel.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And that's one of those races where you can say, just like we said in Vegas, she had mentioned that she had found some things and been working on them. She won that race. Grubby had put in a tune all weekend for her to be able to run a great and consistent car. And, it was what Grubby had and what she did, right out of the gates that helped her out. And that's what it takes to be a champion. And that's what it takes to be, at the top of the game and to be a back-to-back winner. So, I mean, all in all, Houston, I think, was set off in the right way. You can't complain. You can't at all. I mean, it's one of those things where if you're a race fan, I know I'm going to give Lee crap about saying Pro Stock had the best performance. But in all, if you are mad, upset, or if you are even thinking that this was not a good weekend of racing, then
you're not a fan.
No, you're just concussed.
Yeah, right. Hey,
but Lee, we could yak it up, but we got 3 great guests. A lot of D's in the first names
yes.
here today.
Elon Warner, shout out to him. He figured out some way to have everybody's name starting with a D. It's impressive. David, Dustin, Don. It's impressive. It's very impressive.
It's a triple D show tonight with Slam and Sam, Monday Morning Racer. And then the guy that I think we should bring on next to come in and yak it up to hear all that we have to say and what he's going to yak it up about the insight of racing here on Competition Plus. It's our own boss man, Mr. Bobby Bennett.
Right after this word from Weldon Pumps. All right, Bobby, welcome. What you got, man?
Hey, keep us all 3 on the screen. I don't want to be the lone wolf. But
right.
I got to tell you one thing. Let me clarify. AB does not stand for Antron Brown in the instance that Sam was saying. That's Antonio
Antonio.
Brown.
Did I say
And
Antron?
all the guy did was put on a good impersonation of a dumbass. So that's all he did. He didn't show emotion. He showed he's a dumbass. There's a big difference there. Okay.
No.
All right. Now, let's talk about this Bodie kid. Could the reason for his raw emotion be that he knew that when that body exploded, that it was going to cost him some races that he was going to be able to be at? Well, unfortunately, because of the engine explosion and the subsequent body launching incident, the team will have to sit out the Richmond race. But we are told that he will be back for the Norwalk event. Now, we still got our fingers crossed for Richmond, but it's not looking too promising right now. But he did get a new helmet out of the deal, and he did get a new boom box from one of Tony Stewart's sponsors. So he went boom and then got a boom box.
Hey, whatever you can.
This is my thing. Hey, this is my thing. What Tony said there when he said, these are the kind of guys that I want racing for me. That's the kind of person that I want. That could potentially, and I was telling Lee this earlier, that's something that could potentially lead into a deal. You never know what conversations may be had or anything. You would never know, but being yourself and showing true emotion is what I think is what sponsors want to see. They want to see you for who you are.
Sorry, Sam. I guess these old timers that say, "Oh, well, I should show that." I guess they never saw Ed the Ace McCullough or Shirley kick her car or Richard Tharp send a helmet into orbit back in the day. I guess that never happened. We never saw any of that, did we?
Or John and how emotional he would be in interviews and just off the. I mean, whatever.
You know what? Spare me, okay? Spare me. All right. You know, and I know, and that's all. We know what they would do. You can't even compare what you would do. Oh, I would do that. Oh, shut up. Okay.
Okay. Here, I've got it, guys. This is it. You know when you're doing some chore around the house that your significant other, or mom, or whoever asks you to do, right? And you grab that hammer and you're holding it, and bow, you hit your thumb. Everybody's just saying, "Oh, I would never yell. I'd never throw the hammer. I'd never say anything bad." Yeah, right. So take that. That's on our level. We're not talking about their level, okay?
Yeah. So guys, moving on here, we do have some news. Of course, we all know Don Schumacher Racing or Don Schumacher Motorsports and the Don Schumacher Performance Parts brand. You know, we specialize in nitro, but from what I'm hearing, as early as later this week, there could be an announcement about a special limited edition crate motor coming out of Schumacher's program. And
interesting.
They're very tied into this factory stock showdown. I'm trying to get my hat lined up, but anyway, but look for that coming. And as far as the whole intake thing with Camry, Caruso, Titan racing engines, from what I hear, guys, it's much ado about nothing. There was nothing illegal. Basically, the configuration has been was altered. It's been running competition before, but it was altered a bit. And all NHRA said in their letter is, you got till June 1st to make this to fall under our thing. So evidently NHRA sees no performance advantage. And I can tell you, other racers don't either. In fact, in a conversation for an article that's coming out, Richard Freeman says, shame on everybody for making this intake thing the big story. Big story ought to be that young lady and the terrific job she did driving that race car to the first all-female finals. That's what everybody should be talking about. And that
Definitely.
came from the mouth of Richard Freeman. On the record, by the way.
There you
So
go.
we will have a story going into depth about what all the panties being in a wad over, this whole incident is. It's really much ado about nothing.
Certainly. Certainly. Well,
I,
Bobby,
I'm telling you one other thing, and I'll open up the floor for questions. I'm still hearing those rumblings about Houston Raceway Park. I'm hearing, but I don't think it's going to be an immediate announcement. I think we could probably see an announcement 6 months down the road. So there you go. I'm sorry. Open up to questions.
do I have my media credentials though?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Bobby, look, you've even put out articles before concerning, let's say, the optics of NHRA announcements. The NHRA didn't send this like publicly, but we do live in a day and time where stuff is just going to get posted. What's it going to take like to get the timing thing worked out?
Well, that was a correspondence between the NHRA and the team, not the NHRA and everybody from here to Zimbabwe.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was for them and the team. And when you do stuff like that, you really do nobody favors, especially yourself. NHRA, they sent them that, and sometimes it's just better to anything and let people wonder what you're thinking. If that makes sense. But hey, we live in a day and a world where you can do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. But, it is like sometimes just keep stuff to yourself.
Don't send those unsolicited pictures, all you out there. Don't do that.
I just to talk about this is just like Lee and I said, it's timing, right? Like, and who knows if that email was sent early in the day, late in the day, 2 days before, but perception is everything, right? I mean, someone qualifies number one, and then wham, right on top of that. So who knows when that was sent? It's not time stamped, and that doesn't matter. It's always going to be the perception. It's what we see, and just like Lee and I mentioned and relating this to it was the late night press release when everything was found out about Wild Horse Pass, and timing. No matter what we do, timing is going to be anything. I mean, it's writing that story that should be told 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after the event, but yet you say it 3 days before, and everybody's like, well, why did you say that story now? I mean, it's social media. I mean, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't, and it's always going to be our fault. So,
well, Sam, that's apples and oranges scenario, because I can tell you the Phoenix thing was, let's get as less amount of damage as we can get out of this thing. That's why it was sent when everybody had gone to bed, or later on with the Phoenix release. But the other thing is that one of the things we may not be privy to is that we don't know when the legal department gave the official release to let this letter go. So that's another, another layer in the whole thing. They might have got the release from legal to let that go at that time, and that may have been when it went through. But that's just speculation on my part. But I better not waste too much time, or Sam will be trying to pass the torch away from me. He's already.
I didn't mean no.
I'm like, my God, that girl's got a decade or more winning left in her.
Perception, right there. I was saying like passing the torch, giving that black. Like you You don't pass the torch with
torch means, don't you?
Yes, I know what it means, but you can't just take the torch. You got to give the blast. You got to give the blessing. Come on.
Yeah, it's one race, dude. One race. I'm sorry.
It's one of many.
She has absolutely showed out. And to be honest, right now, she's got my vote for Rookie of the Year because
she's in the running.
It's not everybody who votes for the Rookie of the Year. It's us in the media. That's who determines the Rookie of the Year. And right now, she's already got my votes. But there ain't no way in hell I'm passing the torch yet.
No, you're not passing the torch. You're just saying, hey,
Bobby, we will buy Sam. We'll buy Sam the dictionary that is.
I don't need the dictionary.
Sayings. There is a phrase and sayings dictionary. We'll buy that and we'll pass it along.
Hey Siri, what does passing the torch mean? Oh, she's saying good evening. Probably on strike or something.
She said it's after hours. She said
exactly.
I don't know what passing the torch means. Don't come bother me with that trivial crap.
Supper's been made. The dishes are washed. I'm done. Leave me alone.
Oh man. All right. So guys, Bobby, Sam, look, Bobby, thank you for the information. Anything else? Because I need to run a tight ship tonight. Got 3 guests on.
Hey, no. Be ready for this weekend. We're going to have our crew on the ground in Charlotte. We'll be delivering the goods. So stay tuned to competitionplus.com and Competition Plus TV because we are bringing it. We are absolutely running for a championship.
I hear you. Well, thank you, Bobby. Look, right after this word from Holly, we're going to have Mr. Davies on of Constant Aviation Factory Stock and chat with him of what is upcoming with his own ride and there at the ZMAX 4Wide.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holley Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen seal beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more.
And the jet-setting, wheel-carrying man himself. Dave, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
I am doing great. We just lost Sam. Sam's got to work on something, but I'm still here.
Sam didn't want to talk to me.
Well, man, look, ZMAX 4Wide and, well, not necessarily maybe all the way at the bottom, or was it at the bottom? Anyway, nonetheless, Factory Stock Showdown, Constant Aviation Factory Stock Showdown is going 4Wide for the first time ever.
Yeah, it'll be the first time ever. It ought to be very, I know some people love it. Some people hate it. You know, they can complain and talk about it from the basement on their mom's couch all day long, but it's something different. It's something this class has never done before. There's only a handful of drivers that run in the class that have ever run 4Wide before. So I think it's going to make for a very exciting weekend as we all, attempt to figure it out and not have 4 red lights in a row and get down the track. I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It'll be good for the class.
And last time we spoke with you here on the show, you had mentioned how much the class was growing and what you were looking forward to it. So now, changing, I guess, that direction and going 4Wide, what do you think the challenges are going to be for you guys, staging and understanding what's all going on?
Well, it's a change to your normal routine. You guys have all heard it before, right? You're going to have all 4. You have 2 sets of trees, all 4 lights. You have to remember what lane you're in. You have to look at, if you're in lane 1, make sure you're looking at the leftmost light, and you have to just make sure you're watching all the staging lights and get used to seeing 4 sets of bulbs, right? You got four individual staging lights. I know we're going to have at least 3 cars there that don't normally run with us, that are just coming out of the shop, out of the garage, so to speak. So there's going to be some fresh meat, so to speak, that haven't run too much at all, and then they're going to jump into a 4Wide. It's just going to take a little bit of concentration and take everybody out of their comfort zone.
So, what is the NHRA doing to prepare the competitors of Factory Stock Showdown? I know, like with alcohol, they've had classes, and other drivers have taken those individuals under their wing. Even Leah, for example, is that similar? Is that going to happen again going into ZMAX?
We are supposed to have a little walkthrough, a little kumbaya moment with all the drivers, and they're going to walk us through staging and what the lights look like. I don't know when exactly that's supposed to happen. Leah, at the end of last year, when I told her we were going to be pushing to get this 4-wide in, she volunteered to give us a little briefing as well, if need be. I can tell you that if at all possible, I'm going to be talking to Mark Powick. I'm going to be talking to Leah. I'll be talking to, Stanfield's done it before too, right? So I have been talking to just about anybody that I know that's run 4-wide before, just to get my head in it and understand the nuance. I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the fact that we have some fresh cars coming out for Charlotte. A couple new cars came out for Gainesville, and they're going to be back again for Charlotte, and that goes to show the depth and the growth of the class as well. It ought to be very interesting. I think the last time I looked, there were 18 cars on the list. I'm not sure. I haven't looked in a couple days. But I think it's going to be a very interesting weekend. We'll get 4 qualifiers, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday, which will be definitely helpful. And then we'll jet ourselves into Sunday, right, and run eliminations. But I think it's going to be exciting. I think we're all looking forward to making some passes after Gainesville, right? I mean, I think the weather looks good. I'm knocking on all the wood I have, and we're hoping to have good weather and be able to get some good, clean passes in.
Yeah, to echo that statement, Sam, look, the entry list, at least from the last time I looked, I stopped counting on Factory Stock. I just got tired of counting. So I think you're even beyond the 18 that you mentioned at this point. So definitely a healthy field going into this particular 4-wide situation. And I think that speaks volumes of the competition, and also making this move to run 4-wide. It's not being a deterrent to anyone. Maybe there's even that much more interest to take a crack at it.
Well, you've got to, I'm not trying to say you need to change things up, but you have to accept the fact that there's more things we can do to get people's attention. I mentioned earlier that there's going to be a handful or 2 or 3 cars coming out for their first or maybe their second race. And a lot of that has to do with people are just now getting their cars under control, just now getting them figured out. They've been out testing. There was a large Dodge contingent at the NMCA event in Rockingham this past weekend. It was a huge group down there. We're 8-10 months ahead of everybody else, right? Because we had our cars early, and we got them out there early, and a couple of us got out last year and started running. And a lot of people are just getting this new platform out and are trying to figure it out as best they can. So the increase in entries it represents that. It's an exciting class. It's a good group of people that are running in it, and anything we can do to shake the tree up a little bit to get people excited, that's what we're trying to do.
And then you guys talk about, you said what you guys are doing and people are getting their cars out. I mean, you guys got I wouldn't say a too tough of a schedule, but you come down to Charlotte to run the 4-wide. Then you guys are in Richmond, Virginia. After that, Bristol, Tennessee, Norwalk, Ohio. You guys are making the trip down to Indy, Reading, Pennsylvania, Dallas, Texas. I mean, so you guys are moving around to show a lot of people like, hey, we're a class that's growing. We're a class that wants to travel, and this is what you can be a part of. So with that, and with people understanding we're bringing more cars out, what do you think now with traveling to these different areas? Will that draw more cars or get people more involved?
Yeah, I think it will. Listen, I like Vegas. I like Vegas as a city. I like Vegas as a destination, and I like the racetrack, right? So, and I love St. Louis. I've had fantastic luck in St. Louis. So you'll notice that those two aren't on the list because we tried to put events together this year specifically. If you look at them, they're all east of the Mississippi. We end up in Dallas. The season finale's in Dallas, right? But we tried to put something together that everybody could get to. The travel wasn't cross country out west into Denver and Las Vegas, and we had to get something into Division 1. guys, 8 of the cars that run with us on a regular basis are in Division 1. And when's the last time Factory Stock had a race in Division 1? So we wanted to get the cars and the racers out in front of as many people as possible and make it as easy as possible for everybody to get to the races. And I think, to your point, Sam, that's what we're seeing. It's not a week-long process to get out to an event. It's a couple days. You can get out, you can race, you can get back, and you can expose your car and yourself to a larger group of fans.
Well, Mr. Davies, in particular, we'll let you make the announcement, but you're going to have at ZMAX on your door a special entity. So I'm going to give you the floor and explain to us this great organization that is connected with veterans of our country and apparently even our allies.
Yeah, we are happy, ecstatic. I'm personally happy as hell about it too. We're going to have Save Our Allies. It's a nonprofit that supports that has worked very hard getting some of our ID card holders, our U.S. citizens, and some of the interpreters and such that worked with our troops in Afghanistan. They worked very hard getting a lot of people out of Afghanistan, and they're doing the same thing, trying to support and evacuate people out of the Ukraine right now. We're gonna be flying. They're gonna be flying with us. We're gonna be flying them on our door for the rest of the season. There's going to be a group of them out at the race at ZMAX at Charlotte this weekend. We're going to be kind of showing them what NHRA is all about and introducing them to the fans and introducing them on our car as well. So we finally got some ink on that big spot that was open on our car door, and we're happy to have them. I'm excited to have them on there. It's an organization that's doing some very, very beneficial things both for our country and for our allies specifically. And having served with and worked with allies of ours in the past, I was very honored and happy that they wanted to take part in this and ride with us for the rest of the season. So we're really looking forward to working with them.
And you mentioned flying, so to tie this kind of all in, how, I guess for you, how special is that to have someone that is working here with our troops and our allies? How special for you is that?
Oh, like I said, it's really special for me. I've worked when I was overseas. I've worked with any number of our allies from any number of different countries, and they are part of your group. They're part of your unit when that happens, and to see them in need and to see them want and need support and have organizations that are willing to step up and do that when we may be dropping the ball a little bit. I'm not trying to turn this into a political mess by any stretch of the imagination, but there's been organizations like these since working on projects like these since Vietnam. All right. This day and age, with communications the way they are, with social media the way they are, with video and everything the way it is, it's easier to help. It's more upfront and in everybody's face when there's help that's needed. And I'm very happy to be to do this little small part to help these people do the job that needs to get done. That's about the easiest way to say it without really getting into it, right?
Hey, cool.
Totally understand.
Cool deal, and we definitely look forward to seeing that logo of that organization on the side of your door and going 4 wide and high up in the air, carrying the wheels and everything that goes along with Factory Stock Showdown. Now, I know even here we're predominantly an NHRA show, but Factory Stock Cars do not participate just in the NHRA, though that may be the biggest platform. And if I remember, you were going to go down to Bradenton. So what has been some of the other racing in MCA for the Factory Stockers?
Well, we left Gainesville and went about 30 miles south, and believe it or not, it was sunny. So we ended up so we hung out in Bradenton for the NMCA kickoff down there as well. Had some very fast rides. Mark Powick and I were down there running as well. We had a good time down there. and Warren, our other teammate, was down there from the Schumacher camp. We qualified really well. I think I qualified third, and then ended up spinning in round one, which is still nobody saw me throw my helmet against the wall, and Tony didn't bother to offer to buy me a new helmet. But I understand the frustration, right? Mark Powick qualified up in the top of the field and ended up winning that event, which was fantastic for the team, fantastic for him. And I'm not sure how fantastic it was for Dodge, because that's the first time that they paid out their $10,000 bonus for a Dodge winning an NMCA or an NHRA event. So Mark walked off with a north of 10K check for winning the factory supercar class at the Bradenton event. And that was fantastic for the team. And I was aggravated and already into my liquid therapy when he won. But I was very happy for him and Kyle and his son there and the team. I was ecstatic for him.
All right. Well, good to hear that elsewhere in the drag racing world, things are going well for the factory stockers. But we definitely look forward to seeing them at ZMAX this weekend. I know I will be covering the Funny Car Chaos race in Lufkin, Texas. My plan is to drive as long as I can after Saturday and try to get to ZMAX. I have the media creds. And one of the reasons is, yes, factory stock 4-wide. I want to see it personally. And if I got to get a purple vest or whatever and look like a plum, fine, I'll do it. I want a picture of 4 cars up in the air carrying the wheels.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And we've never done it before. And, you know, who knows how long it'll be till we get to do it again, right? So I think everybody's looking forward to it. There's those out there that, you know, just want to complain from the mom's couch in the basement. Let them complain, man. But I think the drivers are excited. I know I'm excited about it. And, you know, oh, well, one race, 4 wide. Let's go.
There you go.
And also, just before we wrap it up here, just got to ask, you know, how's your business, Constant Aviation? How's that going? Are you guys seeing a trend in the right direction since we're all flying which way now? How's everything going on that stand?
We are very, very, very busy. The whole industry is very, very busy. We are still in a hiring crunch. Like the last time I talked to you guys, we have probably brought since the last time, probably somewhere between 45 and 55 technicians into our hangars, and we probably need at least that many more again. So the industry itself is busy. Constant Aviation is extremely busy. Basically, the best way to put it here is if you wanted to get your aircraft painted this year, it ain't happening. We're sold up. We're booked out until we're into the second quarter of next year already with our reservations. So our hangars are full. Our troops are motivated. They're excited because they're busy. Everybody likes to have something to do and work. And we're doing our best to stay up with the demand that's out there. And the entire industry is. If you guys are traveling at all, you're feeling it just as much as we are in the hangars.
So there you guys go. If you need a job, let us know.
By all means,
we'll hook you up.
Anybody. We have an internship program. We have an apprenticeship program. We'll train you up. You get paid while you get trained. In 18 months, you can have your certificate and be a mechanic. Yes, we are hiring. If anybody has not heard that, we are definitely hiring.
There you go. Constant Aviation. Google it.
There you go.
Start that career. Well, Mr. Davies, good to have you on. We need to get you off, and we need to bring on Dustin Davis. He's done primping in the green room. He doesn't know what to do without any clutch dust on him, but we're going to talk to him anyway here right now after the break. Thank you for being on, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
In the race for quality, there is no finish line. Jerry Bickle Race Cars is a one-stop chassis shop for drag racing performance parts and race components. For over 50 years, Jerry Bickle Race Cars has been an essential part of racers' plans for building world champion race cars. Our parts department is stocked with every part a racer might need. Log on to jerrybickle.com for more information. We build anything with doors. jerrybickle.com.
Sam, look, we got the clutch guy on. I don't know why we have just the clutch guy on, but that's who we got tonight.
Wait, I don't recognize him. I thought he had a darker tan than this.
Right. Yeah, he's always a darker shade at the track. Yes.
Yeah.
Dustin, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How are you guys?
Good.
It's another Tuesday. So, for people that don't understand who you are and what you do. Because everyone knows you as a clutch guy, but who is Dustin Davis, and what is Davis Motorsports?
Well, that's a loaded question. Davis Motorsports is a group of really great people that run Top Fuel Car for Justin Ashley, and lucky to be sponsored by Phillips Connect and Vita C Shot, Lucas Oil. And Dustin Davis individually is first and foremost a demolition contractor in California. So that's what I spend most of my time doing. And actually, about 5 minutes ago, minors baseball coach for the minors A's in Rincon Valley Little League. So just got wrapped up with that, and now talking to you guys.
All right. Well, car owner, congratulations. Another successful weekend out there in the NHRA Big Show, making a final round appearance with Justin Ashley at the wheel. How did the weekend go? Because most of the time behind the scenes, it's never as seamless as it looks as just putting it in the beams and turning wind lights on.
Sure, no, it never is. And we coming out of Vegas, we had a couple things that we needed to kind of go back to the drawing board on, and things that we've worked on during the off season. And we had a little hiccup there with the car going up in smoke at the hit. So we regrouped a little bit, went to the shop, got to work, and kind of came to Houston with a little different game plan, and we just could not be happier with the way that things went. Obviously came up a little bit short in final, but giving yourself a chance to win is pretty much the best you can do in this sport. And just proud of our team, proud of making those changes. Mike Green, Tommy Delago, we think we've got the best brain trust in drag racing, and making the adjustments needed to, it was tricky. Houston was tricky. It was hot, and it was humid, and I think you saw a lot of that, especially going on Saturday morning, or that first Q1 on Saturday was a lot of guys, losing traction. So making the right adjustments, and we had a good day on Sunday. Proud of our boys, and Justin obviously always doing a good job behind the wheel, and wish we could have got the win there for Phillips and Vita C Shot, but Brittany's a great driver, and they have a great team there too, and so we're certainly happy to be in that position, and we're gonna learn from little mistakes that we did make and carry the momentum into Charlotte.
Got a question coming in for you right now. It says, how's the chassis after Houston?
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. It's straight. We looked at it, and yeah, she's carrying the front end. So we've got a lot of power down low, and so it makes for great pictures, Sam. That's for sure. We'd like to probably keep it a little more on the ground, but no, a couple times there, it was about ready to take off, and so no, we look at all that obviously as it lets down, but yeah, it was good photo opportunities with the wheel stand.
Hey, I posted one of AB today. I didn't post, I have a couple of you guys's, but talking about your team and talking about what you guys go through, having Mike Green, at the helm of tuning everything. You guys, from what I've seen and being in the pits with you guys, are on a tight schedule. Mike Green likes to do things in order, and you guys have a certain way of doing everything. Does that make it easier for you guys on race day?
Absolutely. I think the most important thing, or one of the most important things in this sport is consistency. Is guys, you want to repeat. Our job as crew and as an organization is to make sure that we give both Justin the drive, and we give Mike Green the same car to tune, and Tommy. And, so that's having that consistency at the top level that's how you build the organization down through. So we know what we're getting with Mike, not only from a schedule and, with what his expectations are. And we have that filters back into our team, and how we run our program is in that exact same way. The expectations are high. as his are. And, we want to hit our marks just like Justin wants to hit the marks on the racetrack. We want to hit our marks in the pit stall. And that's, we spend a lot of time on that. We take pride in that. And it starts with Mike Green. And we're blessed to be, have somebody that's not only just a premier tuner, but also a great leader.
Well, I can tell you that your team and the boys you've got working for you, they were hard at work Monday as well. I stopped by to chat with a few of the guys, found Mike. He says he's watching along. He's doing what he always does, the head case job that he's got. And now the Greg boy, he was primping his hair just a little bit too much. You might want to chat with him there, boss man.
Yeah, we've got all talents, everything from exceptional head work to great hair. So it's, we want to make sure we've got all bases covered at Davis Motorsports. So blessed to have both those guys, both excellent at their jobs and for the comic relief in some cases.
No, and that seems to be, another thing. I know, being in you guys' pits and talking with you guys and just hanging out with you guys from race to race, there's just this sense of urgency, but yet this relaxed, young, I'm calling some people young, even Big Mike, young atmosphere of everyone's having fun and clicking and grooving. How does that feel for you, being the team owner but still being able to bust your butt every day, while you're at the track and be covered in clutch dust and everything? How does that feel to know that you have a group of guys that are you guys are a family out there? So how does that feel?
Well, and that's it. That's the way that I wanted to build this thing when I started it. Was it's people first. Parts sit on the counter. You can have all the money. You can have, however you can buy all the stuff, but they just sit there. It's the people that put them together. It's the camaraderie that you have on the road. It's how you deal with adversity together. It's when you're with somebody every day. We're on the road a lot, and flying in and out, and you got other issues that happen in travel, and it's a lot. So it's important. I've always thought that it's the most important thing is to have is that that base in the relationship that you build with the team, and that's I will never, in my opinion, that's the most important thing, and we will never vary from that in our main focus, because the success with the car will follow. What we talk about all the time is the car knows if you're pissed off at each other. The car knows if you're rattled, and it won't perform because it's not comfortable, and that's how we approach it. And we have a great group, and we are family. We eat together, we drink together, we laugh together. That's and that's the focus. That is the main focus, and the rest will follow.
With the statement of family and being a family, the drag racing community at large is often portrayed as being a family, and you have taken upon yourself, the team, to host there at Sonoma coming up the Eric Medlin charity dinner, and the proceeds to that go to Speedway Children's Charity. So talk to us about why and where does it all go, and who is it helping, and obviously honor.
So first off, Speedway Children's Charities is such a great organization. They've done a lot locally here in Sonoma County, which is where Sonoma Raceway is located. And that's our home race for Davis Motorsports. We're in Sonoma County. The main office here is in Sonoma County. And so really, it's something that when I was even a kid and going to, I'm not exactly sure when this particular dinner started, but I mean, it's been going on for quite some time. And, with pandemic and everything coming into play, it was something that they had to put off for obvious reasons. And so when we were in the off season and we were thinking about, different ways that, we can help promote the sport, not only for our sponsors, but just for the sport in general. And, coming into Sonoma and wanting to do something for our sponsors and things. I talked to Green about it, and I was telling him kind of my plans about, hey, I'd like to get everybody together, not only for sponsors, but also, and then I ended up talking with Courtney, who is with Speedway Children's Charities at Sonoma Raceway. And I said, hey, what if we try to put this thing together, and I'm going to host it because I'm going to have, we're kind of trying to do that anyway. And let's make it, try to bring this thing back. And she was all in for it. And Green and I went and talked to John Medlin and got his blessing to kind of bring, they had always had, it was Eric Medlin's Nitro Night, and it was that charity that both honored Eric, and then the proceeds went to Speedway Children's Charities. And it kind of went in line with the ice cream social that they always did at the end of the race. And it was Eric's home track because, of the proximity to Oakdale, California, to Sonoma. So it just felt right. And, now that we're finally coming back out of pandemic, I just felt like it was something that I really wanted to do. It's a great charity to honor Eric, obviously, and just the Medlin family back at their hometown. And we're excited about it. Phillips is excited about it. We talked to Jim Epler. They were 100% on board and behind doing it. And the folks at Speedway Children's Charities, Sonoma's on board. So we're really excited about getting that dinner put back together. It's going to be at Santa Rosa Golf and Country Club. There's some information available at davismotorsportsllc.com. It's open. The dinner is open to fans. It's open to racers. It's, you can buy tickets. It's going to be a great meal. There's going to be a cocktail reception before. We're going to have a silent auction. Just a fun time. We're right in the middle of the Western swing, so little time to enjoy the nice weather in wine country, and kick your heels up a little bit, and also remember a great racer that was Eric Medlin, and honor his family in the process. So we're excited about it.
Going to a great cause, and is this something that's leading the way for what Davis Motorsports and the Ashley team, what you guys have coming up, and what you guys continue or want to continue to do in the sport is, give back and lead the way and celebrate lives? I mean, is this something that you guys are going to continue to do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with this particular event, I would love it if it would become annual. I mean, it used to be, and I think that's what we're focused on. But, both Justin and I, Sam, we love this sport. That's why we're here. I love drag racing. And I think that we want to promote the sport. We want to promote its great history. We want to promote its future. And I think that is, doing this kind of stuff and making things available if you've got the means. I think that's part of it. And, we want to celebrate past, present, and future. And we certainly plan on doing that. We plan on doing that whenever we can.
All right. And before we let you go, final question for me. And I always get these funny moments from you guys, but we always see the serious side of Mike Green. We always see the real determined, but you have to give us a good, funny story of Mike Green or something that he does that cracks the team up.
A really funny story about Mike Green. Some of that might be classified. I don't know if we're going to share funny moments. I mean, you get a couple Tanquerays in him, he gets a little bit more talkative. But other than that, Mike's a pretty serious guy. But I wouldn't want him any other way. He's a father figure. He's a leader. But he also he's got a heart as big as a washtub. You just, don't necessarily see it all the time, but he's behind closed doors and with our group. And, he's very open. He's very approachable. You can bring anything to him about whether it's what you got going on personal or maybe it's, business stuff. He and I talk about everything. We talk about, if I've got stuff going on at home, or whether it's, we're going to be making a change here as far as shop locations and stuff. More to come on that. But, all that, he's very approachable. So he's definitely a serious guy, from the outside, but he's also, he's as big a part of this family as any of us.
Dustin, look, thank you for your time, man. We need to roll on. We've got Don Prudhomme waiting in the green room.
But don't let me hold up Don. That's
all right, Dustin. We will see you this weekend, and you keep. Yes, you keep it AH. Love you, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, man. Take care.
All right, see you.
All right, good chatting with that clutch guy, car owner from the NHRA, one of the hardest working dudes out there. Always good chatting with him. We're going to take a break. Right after the break, ladies and gentlemen, Don the Snake Prudhomme right here once again on the Competition Plus Power Hour.
Get your CompetitionPlus.com apparel today. Whether it's our nitro-burning funny car design or the vibrant door slammer design, we have the swag to show you are always in the know. Get yourself a hat too. And we know not everyone enjoys wearing a mask, but if you must wear one, at least wear a good-looking one. Check out the new CompetitionPlusApparel.com for the latest from the place where you have trusted for your news on the internet for over 2 decades.
Mr. Prudhomme, welcome back, sir.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Doing great.
Nothing much.
Yeah, good. Yeah, listen to your show there. It's quite great. Mike Green used to work for me, so I've admired the guy a lot. He was actually working on Austin Proc's car when things closed down for a year there, and Mike went on and got a new job, but he's a good crew chief.
For sure. That is definitely the case, man. You've had the best work around you and for you, and I mean the stories you could tell. And definitely, I want we're going to talk NHRA drag racing. You're Dom the Snake Prudhomme, but we might be calling you, or should call you, the Desert Snake with last year's success and about to hit it again, man.
Yeah. We're pulling out Thursday. We're going back to Baja, and we were able to win our class last year. So looking forward to running again this year. I got a new guy with me, and Nick Firestone. He's a hell of a driver, so I'm looking forward to running Baja again.
So from going from the track to not doing that much, and now saying, you know what, hey, I'm going to take over the Baja side of things. I mean, not giving up, not slowing down anytime soon. I don't see it in your future, right?
Well, yeah, it's funny. I get asked that quite a bit. I think mainly because, you get to my age, unfortunately, we've lost a lot of guys. Mongoose is one of them, and just it's terrible. We're say, I'm 81. But I feel great, and as long as I feel like this, hell, I'm going to go out and do it, There's still a lot to do out there. You just want to sit on the couch, and I'd still be drag racing, but this off-road thing has kind of got my attention, and I enjoy doing that.
So, Don, what do you have to do to prepare yourself to go into this 1,000? Physically, even mentally, how do you get ready?
Well, it's more physical than anything else, and I just try to stay in shape. I'm in fairly good shape, and I'm, I work out, not as much as I should, but I try, and eat right, do things, and I have stamina. I've always had that, and it's a good thing because, when you're out in the desert, running, let's say we have to run a couple 100 miles in one day, it takes a lot out of you, but, it's just part of the game. I enjoy doing it, and as long as you enjoy something like that, it's nothing better than getting out of the house and going out and kicking some ass if you can.
There you go. Well, look, I want I want like the camo print snake hat, soon. We need desert print. We need to have that out soon. I mean, it's just cool that you're going and doing
Yeah.
what you're doing and still being successful and doing it the Prudhomme way. Seems like you've wanted everything you've done.
Yeah, I had a good run in drag racing, man, and I still pay attention to it. It's just a little different now, but I'm really grateful with the sport. It's treated me like it has. I've been able to make a living off of it and enjoy retirement life, and it's all because of drag racing. But I think guys like myself and Mongoose, we worked real hard at finding sponsors and bringing them into the sport. Where new guys can now do the same thing. And to see crew chiefs and crew members making a living doing this, it wasn't possible when we started the sport. There's no way you can make a living, but some of these crew chiefs especially make a damn good living. And I think it's largely because of the early days in the Wally Parks. And, I got to give IHRA and AHRA credit to, they were ones that hired guys like myself and McEwen to come in and put on a show. And, I think we changed the sport a lot. And once again, I think Mongoose had a lot to do with that.
And as you continue, you mentioned that the sport is a lot different from when you were in. But, looking at it and looking at, seeing the first female pro stock final, seeing a younger kid and Bobby Bodie, go through what he's going through. When you look at the sport, compared to how it was when you were in and now, what's your judgment? What's your gauge on where we sit right now?
Well, I think it's really great. Obviously, when you see, new competitors and these two females get together in the final round, I don't know if Shirley would be too happy about that, but I certainly enjoyed it. And, drag racing is it's apples and oranges. You got to remember when we first started this, we were able to make a living running our cars in match racing around the country and running AHRA and IHRA races. And NHRA didn't even pay you back those days. You paid them to go race. And it's just a different world today. But I admire the new people in it, believe me, especially like Austin Prock, kids like that. But once again, it's in my day, it was the driver, and you tuned it, and you worked on it, and you went out and won races. In today's world, the crew chief is I don't know, 80, 70, 80% of what it takes to get a job done, at the drag races. And back in the day with Garlis and myself, we did our own thing. So it was a lot different, man. You can't even compare it. It's apples and oranges,
Well, Don, we got a few fan questions here. Kroger Sucks 45. Yes, very interesting name, but always watches along. He asks, Snake, you still going to Sturgis?
Absolutely, yeah. Still going to Sturgis. We're going again this year. Going to meet up with Rusty Wallace and a whole bunch of us, and we're going to do the Rusty Wallace ride and go to Sturgis and ride our Harleys.
That sounds like a fat time, if you will.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So
I do that. I've been going to Sturgis for many years, and this is about 5 years in a row. And we stay at the Elkhorn Camp Lodge with our motorhomes and barbecue out, and we have everybody from Rusty Wallace to Clint Boyer to Sarah Palin hanging out with us. So we have a pretty good time.
That's a great, fascinating crowd right there. Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
So that answers John's question. His question, Don, was, do you limit yourself now to four wheels, or do you still ride motorcycle? Obviously, you just answered that one. So another question coming in for you. Of everyone you have raced against, who did you want to beat the most?
Oh, man, that's a good question because there was a lot of them. I wanted to beat all of them. Probably it was between Don Garlitz and Tom the Mongoose McEwen, and Raymond Beadle and the Blue Max. So those are my toughest competitors, I think. There wasn't just one.
Certainly. And,
Yeah, I went through.
speaking.
Go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
you go ahead. Go ahead, Don.
No, I had a dragster career and won some championships in dragster, and then I went into funny car racing. So it was I ran the whole gamut, man. It was a whole different deal.
Speaking of competitors in that day and time, take a moment and talk to us maybe about some of the few competitors that are not often talked about. You mentioned Raymond Beadle, and you mentioned some other names there that many know about. But what about, like, I'm going to throw a name out, and you mentioned a few others like Santucci.
Santucci. I don't know. You got me.
Or Al Segrini, for example.
Oh, Segrini, yeah. Well, we're buddies now. I see Segrini quite a bit, and he's a cool guy. We had a period of time that he was the Brute Fabergé car, perhaps he was running, that he was really strong, and we were strong in funny car racing, so we battled quite a bit. But from him, it went on to Jungle Jim. It could have been Mongoose once again, or Billy Myers. There was a lot of them that were pretty fast.
And as you mentioned those names of, people that were the pioneers, including yourself, of the sport and doing everything you guys were doing at that time. When you guys were in that moment and you guys were match racing each other and going back and forth, did you guys know that you were really going to be the pioneers and the true, the ground pounders of what we have today and what our generation and our parents' generation look up to?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't have any idea it would turn into what it did. Wally Parks didn't have any idea it would become as big as it had. But, when we started out, I've said this before, we had junkyard parts, basically. You went to a junkyard and found an engine and 392 out of an old Chrysler, and actually it was a new Chrysler in those days. And that was the power plant that you put in your car. In today's world, everything is different. But no, it was so much more enjoyable back then. I just can't tell you. I feel guilty sometimes that I was able to experience drag racing, and at that level when you first started out. So it was much better.
Well, Don, we wrapped up a wonderful history there at Houston Raceway Park this past weekend.
Yeah.
Any top moments for you there at Houston?
Oh, I had a lot of great moments. We won a bunch of championships and a lot of national events, and Houston was one of the tracks that we always look forward to because for the good air conditions. You're at sea level there, and that's what racers always hunted for, was that sea level, and the water grains and everything is just perfect to run at Houston. So I wasn't surprised to see the numbers come out of there like it did, and what a great crowd they had. And I think we're going to miss that track, all the drag racers.
There's another great question that comes in here, and I kind of want to ask this one too. It says, do you consider Hot Wheels your most successful sponsorship since it is still promoted? It's still promoted to this day.
I think the Hot Wheels was the most successful sponsorship in the history of the sport. I don't think there's been any other sponsorship. We're still doing business with Mattel some 60 years later, and they're still building Hot Wheel cars with the snake and the mongoose on them. And so I think, yes, it was definitely changed the sport completely when Hot Wheels got involved. In 1970, that was.
Do you think it's strange that in today, speaking of Hot Wheels and Mattel, that you go and look through the Hot Wheels collection that there is, and we don't find little top fuel dragsters, and we don't find funny cars as often as probably we should, as spectacular, well, real life Hot Wheel cars that they are.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I think that we're starting to miss that young generation coming up and following the sport like we did when we were kids. So, and when you were kids. So I think these young kids just don't have that planted into them like we did with their little Hot Wheel cars. But they're off to something else. I don't know, but I know we still do business with them, and Lucas Oil is. We still do business with them. They're great. They're supporting us in our off-road adventure, and I appreciate that.
Lucas Oil does make great product. I know I use the fuel injector cleaner and the fuel treatment every oil change.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's important, because I did the same thing with my Can-Am. That's what I use the products and that, and it works out great. And you're out in the desert running 1,000 miles, you better have something good underneath you.
That's right. That's right. And hey, you're running 1,000 miles, and my little Kia is out here with almost 300,000 miles, so it's ticking along.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
And as you are now getting more involved in the racing, the off-road racing, are you seeing more people, or was there ever that moment where you're like, okay, maybe this is kind of my getaway, people may not kind of notice me, but then now you're getting out there and they're like, wait a minute, I know you from somewhere. Are you seeing that in other motorsports?
Yeah, I see that a lot, but I go to other forms of racing, and probably even more so than drag racing. I'm a huge IndyCar fan, and one of my best buddies is Chip Ganassi, and I was just at the Long Beach Grand Prix, and I follow Formula One real close, and some Cup stuff, NASCAR stuff, but mainly F1 and IndyCar racing is my most favorite, and I'm up early in the morning watching Formula One.
Yes, you definitely do have to get up early most of the time to watch it, but it is certainly exciting, and they've done a good job of capitalizing on the drama that they have within their motorsport to appeal to the masses. Have you experienced with the off-road racing encountering individuals that they've never been to a NHRA Camping World event, and they've never experienced Top Fuel and funny car racing?
It's mainly the same people. I mean, the people that show up out at the off-road racing, they're well aware of drag racing, and they go to the drag races too. The off-road thing is just a whole different scene. It's something that you can do, you and one other guy who's a navigator in the car with you, but you don't have to stop and change pistons every 4 seconds. I mean, you can run this thing, and oh my God, it's heaven when you're out there, and you're flying along and down these cow paths and so on, and dodging cactus and things like that. It's kind of cool, navigating the thing to your next pit stop. So it's pretty enjoyable.
That has to take, I mean, a different type of adrenaline, right? Instead of going 3 seconds, 4 seconds, now we're going miles and hours, but that adrenaline is staying there. Might be a little bit easier on the pumper, the good old heart there, but are you still finding yourself getting caught in those moments where it's like you're getting that rush just like you did when you were behind the wheel of a funny car and behind the wheel of a dragster in a match race?
Yeah, man, when you're at the start line and you're putting your helmet on and hooking it all up and sitting your gloves on and you got your hand on the wheel there, it's pretty cool, It's like when the flag band's there ready to send you off. It's you still get that same high.
Well, Don, look, we mentioned earlier Sturgis and you attending that, but going down to Mexico, there's got to be some cool spots that the cool man known as Don the Snake Prudhomme hangs out at. So clue us in. Where should we hang out down in Mexico?
Well, San Felipe is not too bad. We'll be in San Felipe Sunday night. We leave Ensenada Sunday morning, and we go off road all the way down to San Felipe. Then the next day we'll leave San Felipe and go to a place called Bahia de Los Angeles, and it's a really cool little fishing village, and so we'll be down there. But and there's tons of them. All you do is get the map out and check the Baja Peninsula, and there's a ton of little places there, and we'll be in them.
So we know, I know going down to places like that, the food, everything's, great. What is Don's Mexican dish of choice? Like, if you have to sit down right now and say, this is what I'm going to order, what is the snake cooking up?
Oh man, I like everything from enchiladas to tacos to burritos. Carne asada burrito is probably the most favorite thing on my list.
Well, Don, look, my last question for you, Drag Racing Central wants to know, Don, what do you think about the No Prep Kings scene and 8th Mile drag racing? Where do you stand, Don? Are you like one of the 1320 is the way it should be, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I like the 1,000-foot racing. I think the 1320 is really out of the question. Cars are too fast. The shut-off area is too not long enough. More damage to the cars. Right now, they can barely get to 1,000 foot before they blow them up. So I certainly wouldn't expect for them to go any farther. And I think the cars are running great. I think the performance is great. I mean, we're looking at 38 miles an hour. I think Grubnik run that, and no, man, it's balls to the wall. I just don't know where it's going to end or how they're going to, what the final chapter is going to be,
And there you have it. I mean, we all like all forms of racing. Obviously, you're going off road and taking it to a new venture, a new step. So hopefully someone is capturing this and putting together these videos so we can watch along and see, your journey and having fun. But as always, thanks for your time, for what you've done. It's always a pleasure to be able to talk to the pioneer of the sport that we love today, the snake himself. I can say I've talked to you 2 times in my life, and it's been great. So thanks for coming on and chit-chatting with us here on the Power Hour.
Thanks, man. Thanks, you guys. I really enjoyed it. It's really great. I'm just having a really good time in my retirement, and 81 isn't all that bad. I got to tell you, I'm having a pretty goddamn good time. Thanks.
Awesome, man. When you keep on keeping on and having that good time, and we will certainly be following whatever updates we can get from the desert and be rooting for the snake.
Got it. Thanks.
Flan, Sam, look, man, great show. I know we're going to chit-chat just a little bit more before we wrap it up. But, hey, I want to give a shout-out to Mitch King. Yeah, the Top Fuel guy. And you'll notice on his blue Top Fuel dragster that did attempt to qualify there at Houston Raceway for the Spring Nationals, La King's, and that's for La King's Confectionery. It's a candy shop down here in Galveston, Texas, where I'm at. And, man, is it a beautiful candy shop. Ice cream, coffee, taffy, chocolate-covered Oreos, all in this old-school setting in downtown Galveston. It is a place to check out.
Lee, if you're there in the morning, I need you to go and get me some the little square, old-school, like caramel. I know you know what I'm talking about.
They had it.
Okay.
They had peppermint barks.
No, I know. I don't want peppermint bark. I just want some freaking caramel. Just bring me some caramel. Okay, so go back in the
I
morning
do
and
plan
give
on
me
going
some
back.
caramel.
I
So
do
give me
plan
some
on going back.
caramel.
But
Can you do?
also,
Can you help?
I say all
Can you
that.
help a brother
I say
out?
all that because look,
Help a brother
there's moments in life whether you got a special someone, especially mom, and people buy chocolates. Well, they had chocolates for sale. Okay, so check it out. Maybe the website I hadn't looked, but maybe you can buy chocolates from a guy who drives Top Fuel and support someone in drag racing, and they're good chocolates as well. So do that.
And some caramel.
Chocolate covered
caramel.
Oreos.
Caramel for all you bougie people out there. Okay.
Chocolate covered Oreos.
But anyway, Lee, great weekend of racing. You've got some funny car chaos stuff, right? That's where you're headed. Chaos. You got funny car chaos. Your boy.
Lufkin, Texas, Pine Valley Raceway. It's chaos in the pines.
Chaos. And your boy going to North Carolina.
Dude.
I'm coming.
Dude.
I'm coming for the Carolinas. Watch out.
Dude.
You never know what's going to happen. Slam and Sam to the Carolinas.
I'm glad you're going there. And if you're able to stay over, hopefully definitely see you Sunday and hopefully you hang out for Monday. But, man, look.
I will be there Monday.
Awesome. Look, I was repping Funny Car Chaos all weekend at a NHRA national event wearing my Team Chaos jersey. And, dude, I saw so many people wearing Chaos Cajun Nationals or Funny Car Classic t-shirts. People stopping me talking about how great the Chaos is. People have been bit by the Chaos bug. If you have not been to a Chaos race, you got to go.
So, yes, Funny Car Chaos. I watched it, and you can actually see you. And I'm like, come on, Lee. Like, come on, man. Standing at the starting line with the camera in the Chaos gear. I'm like, that man's good. Real good. Lee, one thing we got to do, especially because I'm staying over Monday morning, you're the Monday morning racer. I think that we should do something kind of fun and find a good eatery and sit down and eat because you and I have this bond over eating food and everything. Drag Racing Central is bringing up some old news, but yes, I've already spoken to Lyle. He knows I'm on my way to North Carolina. He knows to have those Yinglings nice and freezing cold for your boy when I get there. And, man, shout out to Lyle Barnett, just not being a driver in NHRA. That man is winning left and right.
Beer money been making some money.
Beer money ain't making beer money. They're drinking top shelf right now. Yes. And it is okay because as soon as I touch down, I'll be getting a hold of Lyle. But there will be crack of a Yingling. We will see what this hype is about. So, yes. When Lyle was on here the last time, I said I was going to do it, so we're going to do it. We're just going to have fun. It's Charlotte. I've never been to the Carolinas. I'm going to the Carolinas, and we're going to watch some NHRA drag racing. I mean, we're going to go and watch
event. You know, I had someone out there I saw earlier today was like, "There's no pro stock. Oh, the event sucks." I'm like, how? Look, I love pro stock. Don't get me wrong, but you've got factory stock, you got pro mod, you got funny car, you got top fuel, you got alcohol funny car, you got alcohol dragster. I mean, it is a stacked card for this Circle K 4-wide nationals at the ZMAX Dragway in Concord, North Carolina.
But this is all I can say. Guys, guess what? Guys and girls out there, next week, you won't hear me say that pro stock was the top of the class. They won't be there. So I want to know, we're going to leave this to comments. I'm not going to see them. Who do you think that I'm going to say is the best show that was put on the track this next week? Don't forget to comment in your picks and who you think is going to take home a Wally from this 4-wide. Lee, you be quiet. But yeah.
At the end of the event, Slam and Sam will say, I'm going to spell it out, TOPFEUL.
No, I won't. I don't think I will. The boys are back in town.
FUEL. No, I
yeah,
might have got that wrong.
FUEL.
Yeah, FUEL. There we go.
The boys are back in town.
Top fuel. He can say it. Top fuel, though.
The boys are back in town. Comments are coming in, Lee. The people have spoken.
And I tell you, you know, I don't know how these competitors do it. As a media person and as a fan, like, I want to see Pro Mod sooner than Gators in a Gap. I want to see Pro Stock Motorcycles sooner than Gators in a Gap. We got to figure something out.
Plead the fifth. Lee, been another great show. To all you guys out there, you guys got to like, comment, subscribe, share this stuff. Get this out to the masses. They need to know that the late night show is Competition Plus every Tuesday night. We're yakking it up. We're talking the controversy. We are Kroger sucks 45. I agree.
Top Fuel Harley. Top Fuel Harley's on the list too.
They are too. Man, and Lee, that is one class that you will be getting a lot of notice from this guy. I'm taking pictures. Those things excite me, but scare the living out of me at the same time. Anybody that can.
They men. They men.
That's a whole new ball game. But like, comment, subscribe. You guys let us know. Get this out to the masses. Tuesday nights, Competition Plus Power Hour, brought to you by Weldon High Performance Pump, is the place to be. We yak it up. Tonight we had the Triple D show. We had Dustin.
Right.
No, we had Davis, and the Snake Prudhomme. But man,
it was
what a show.
David, Dustin, Don.
David, Dustin, Don.
Yep.
The Triple D.
Yes.
And now we're going to North Carolina. First time in my life to go, Lee. I'm excited. I'm going kind of to your area. You're from the Carolinas, so hopefully it treats me well. Hopefully there's a lot to eat.
South Carolina.
Oh, here we go. It's like Southern California and NorCal. We don't get along. But
no,
anyway.
Because they're actually two separate states. You're talking about one state.
I know, but we divide it. It's like North Dakota and South Dakota.
Two different states.
Dakota. But it's still the Dakota. Anyway.
No.
Lee.
Yo.
What do you got going on this week other than this show here?
Well, obviously, Funny Car Chaos, Pine Valley Raceway, be there Friday, Saturday, FCC.com, funnycarchaos.com. Get all the information. Thursday night, Between the Slicks. Hey, Paul Lee, you know that guy and all that changing he made to the crew chief tuning wrenches structure on his team? Well, Jason Bunker, a part of that combination, I'm going to have him on live Thursday night, and we'll be talking about all the latest news in drag racing as well. And then, like, after Saturday, Sam, I'm going to take a long ride and go as far as I can all night to try to make Z-Max from Lufkin, Texas, and be there for round one of eliminations whenever they fire off. So, yes. I might even dive into the Monster Energy to stay up and make it all night. What you got going on, Sam?
Lee, this week is going to be a short week as it's a travel week, but we are getting back in the groove. You guys will see a video dropping from me about what the changes are that I'm making and doing with Outlaw Performance, ENT, Slam and Sam, and everything that's going on. Other than that, I'll be having a travel. We'll try to shoot some content for just a travel day for personal stuff. And so you guys can see what the day in the life of a traveling, working media person is like, packing your bag and everything else. Other than that, you guys stay tuned to Outlaw Performance ENT on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Please click the notification bell if you haven't done that already. Slam and Sam page, you get all the crazy content that I like to share. Podcast dropping soon. And to Z-Max, to North Carolina, we go. To Bobby Bennett, to the Competition Plus family, to my co-host, Lee, the Monday Morning Racer, to our buddy Darren, Hot Rod ENT. Thank you guys for what you guys all do. To you guys out there that comment and watch this every week, we appreciate you guys. You can listen to these as I'm uploading a lot of them onto the podcast forum. You can listen to them back if you've missed them already, and you can go over to YouTube. Lee, that's all I got. So I guess it's time to shut this thing down. Week? No? Came back on.
We're done, man.
We're done? So you want me to shut this thing down, or are you shutting it down? Who's pulling the chutes?
How about we pull the chute together?
All right. Well, I'm in the inside lane, so I'm going to take that turn first so I don't get caught up in your wing and you don't get caught up in my wing and no one shoots get untangled. So, Lee, thank you to Weldon, to Holly, and to you guys, the people. I'm Slamming Sam. I'm about to sign out. Till next time. Peace.
Until next time, I'm Monday Morning Racer. God bless and keep the pedal to the metal.